Peace, 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 peace to the people, all power to the people. Hello, everybody. My name is Brother Merrick Moses, and I am honored to be the board president of the Pride Center of Maryland. Over these last couple of months, we know it's been really tough for this community, but like the phoenix, we always rise. And so we're actually doing better now than we were before COVID. But I'm going to let folks get into the details. But I wanted to sincerely thank you on behalf of the board of the Pride Center of Maryland and on behalf of the Pride Center of Maryland for supporting us and for doing what needs to be done to love, serve, and protect our community. And without further ado, I will pass this over to our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Cleo Monago. Take it away, Cleo.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Brother Moses. I appreciate your introduction. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our first community meeting in a while. Some of you have not seen us in a while because of COVID and different things that are occurring in the community, but many thousands have indeed seen us. And we will be covering who has seen us and what the engagement with the community has been. But I'm excited to welcome you. Thank you for being here. We're excited to demystify ourselves. Beyond the thousands that engage us on a monthly basis, there are some of you who are not aware of what we're doing and how powerful, great, and the infrastructure and sizability of the organization at this point. So without further ado, I'm going to make sure that things are clear to you by introducing our team and the staff who help get things going and make sure that the agency is successful. And we're going to start off with our Senior Director of Programs, Mr. Tremor Wilson.
Actually, I will be passing this over to Karen Ramali, who will give an overview of our financials for the years.
Thank you, Tremor. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to share details on the financial status of the Pride Center of Maryland. As previously mentioned, after a challenging 2020 that combined a global pandemic and substantial loss of funding for the center had a much healthier financial situation in 2021. Just for comparison, I have the 2020 total revenue and support, which was $558,630, with the vast majority of that coming from government grants. Other sources of revenue support included event income of $43,490, direct public support of $11,754, and corporate contributions totaling $11,632. Next slide. In 2021, our revenue and support grew by over 53%, driven primarily by a marked increase in direct public support, which grew from $11,754 to $364,331. Event income rose from $43,490 in 2020 to $80,000 in 2021, and corporate contributions increased from $11,632 to $29,050. Next slide. For 2022, the Pride Center of Maryland projects pledges and contributions of $2,315,000. Next slide. Total expenses for 2020 were $598,267, with total revenue of $558,630, bringing a net income of $39,637. In 2021, expenses were $770,854, and total revenue was $856,217, yielding a net income of $85,363. Next slide. In 2020, we were able to receive and take possession of our new complex, which you will hear more about shortly. And that is part of the capital projects of $420,000 in 2020. Next slide. There were additional improvements made at that building in the amount of $182,000 during 2021. Next slide, please. Finally, the Pride Center of Maryland thanks all of our corporate, small business, and individual donors for their contributions in 2021, which enable our organization to continue to meet the community's needs. It is my pleasure to introduce Tremor Wilson, our Senior Director of Programming.
Awesome, Karen. First of all, I want to thank you, Karen Romali, for that swift introduction. You all today, I'll be telling you all a little bit about the team we have was able to build and who we are as an organization. But I cannot start to tell you who we are without telling you what we pride ourselves on. As an organization, we pride ourselves on dignity, respect, and integrity while trying to provide the best services for the sexual gender minority community throughout the state of Maryland. Our specific mission is to be a catalyst for uniting and empowering sexual gender minorities in Maryland and to advocate for a better quality of life for the entire community. While our mission is to co-create a society where diverse and sexual gender minorities are affirmed and barriers of well-being and ability to thrive, self-love, and social justice. Next slide, please. Awesome. So today I get kind of the most exciting part, and I get the opportunity to introduce you all to the magnificent team of the Pride Center of Maryland. The Pride Center of Maryland has grown tremendously with five directors, 2 administrative support staff, and 20 plus programmatic staff. Next slide, please. Awesome. So with that being said, the Pride Center of Maryland has made a conscious effort to expand our services throughout the entire state of Maryland. For PCOM, in expanding our services, as you'll see in some of these photos, we have increased our team to make sure that we're not only circumferencing Baltimore City, but make sure we're circumferencing other counties, such as Prince George's County. And some of these photos will show you resources and services that have happened in Baltimore City and Prince George's County, as well as Carroll County, as we were able to participate in a protest with the Carroll County Public Schools, as well as providing the best services possible. Next slide. So you all, with taking a conscious effort of all that was going on, we have the Pride Center of Maryland has had to make that same conscious effort while evaluating the entire state of Maryland, after evaluating the needs and the resources and the disparities that our community currently faces, which is why we started these specific services. We have launched our preventive health clinics, our harm reduction services, support groups, cultural competency trainings, membership service navigations, wraparound case management, transgender and gender nonconforming services that support the entire state of Maryland. So without further ado, I get the pleasure and opportunity to introduce one of our leaders of our trans services throughout the state of Maryland, Amber Van Horn.
Thank you so much, Trey Moore. Hello, everyone. Let me start by saying it has been an honor working alongside the great leadership of Mr. Wilson. I'm extremely excited about the great things we have in store at the Pride Center. One of these things being a new, innovative program geared towards the bettering and empowerment of the trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming communities. With a severe lack of unity and safe spaces for these specific communities, I find it extremely important for us to address the inadequacies. We as trans women, more specifically Black and Latina trans women, face a number of stereotypes. Our goal here at the Pride Center is to ensure the trans and non-binary community are aware that they are worth way more than the obstacles we are faced with on a daily basis. We want to help move away from the survival methods of sex work and the stigma of promiscuousness and the sexualization of the trans community. We will be providing positive outlets where members and visitors will be able to better understand different ways to generate income, learn basic home economic skills, social interaction methods, professional development, and so much more. In addition, we will also be offering an array of valuable resources that are essential to the empowerment and uplifting of these communities. These resources include, but are not limited to, cost-free HIV testing, personalized case management, general harm reduction group meetings, and the list is growing as we speak. There will be a number of fun and informative events where members and visitors will be able to meet new people, gain a sense of unity, all while learning valuable life skills. Last but not least, we'll be relaunching our recurring support group, Trans Talk Mondays. This weekly group was created by Divine Bay, Catalea Hernandez, and Dayana Canty. We have decided to move forward in evolving Trans Talk Mondays to be inclusive of non-binary and gender non-conforming communities. So be on the lookout as Trans Talk will now be held on Wednesdays. I look forward to engaging with you all in the near future. I encourage you to come out and meet me and my Pride Center family at the grand opening on June 20th at 6 p.m. Speaking with you next will be my colleague, Reese Byers.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Reese Byers, and I am a case manager at the Pride Center. At the Pride Center of Maryland, we have wraparound case management services for our community, as well as free sexual health clinics twice a week. Through these clinics, we have served almost 600 different people over the span of the last year. Including these clinics, we have connected with over 900 different people through different forms of intake. After intake, we in the case management department would guide and refer these individuals to resources that they may need in order to become empowered and thrive in society. We also have started a harm reduction group led by my fellow case manager and harm reduction specialist, Naomi Hurley. Take it away, Naomi.
Thanks, Reese. Hey, y'all. My name is Naomi Hurley. I am a case manager and a harm reduction specialist. To continue to advocate for the safety and health of sexual and gender minorities, a harm reduction support group is held every week at the Pride Center of Maryland. The group, Hope Through Harm Reduction, is facilitated by 2 harm reduction specialists with backgrounds working in addiction and trauma-informed care. This group explores accessible and sustainable approaches to implementing safety and education for people who use drugs and to those who consider themselves in recovery by following a curriculum that focuses on improving impulse control, emotional intelligence, self-esteem, family dynamics, and more. Each meeting supplies group members with Narcan, fentanyl testing strips, and resources for additional support from other agencies in the state. The Pride Center of Maryland also partners with other community organizations such as Druid Heights CDC, where we run a bi-weekly support group for men in their reentry program. The Pride Center of Maryland is developing an intensive outpatient program that caters directly to the LGBTQ plus population across the state of Maryland. Harm reduction is at the core of this program because its history is so intertwined with queer liberation. Harm reduction efforts began with syringe service programs during the height of the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s. The work continues as we strive to help prevent overdoses, end the stigma, and save lives. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to introduce Ursula, our outreach coordinator for Prince George's County.
Thank you, Naomi. Hi, I'm Ursula Davis, the Outreach Coordinator for Prince George's County and the Pride Center of Maryland. Currently, in the Outreach Department, we have begun to establish community relationships and provide education and also capture information throughout the entire state of Maryland. With my primary focus being COVID-19 vaccination and bridging the gap within the SGL community of Prince George's County and Baltimore City, I've been able to provide tablings aligned with the county health department, and by doing so, we have been able to vaccinate over 360 residents of Prince George's County. And we've had a total of over 8,500 social interactions and engagements. Throughout the state of Maryland, the Pride Center of Maryland's outreach department has been able to establish over 890 COVID vaccinations. We have a wonderful partnership with Maryland Department of Health, and by doing so, we'll be able to provide so much more throughout our outreach. Now, not only do we have vaccinations and other services, but here's my other co-outreach coordinator, Stacy Williams. He'll be able to provide you more information about our events. Go ahead, Stacy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stacy Williams. I'm an outreach coordinator here at the Pride Center of Maryland. Every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Our game night is targeted for our SGM youth and young adults from ages 14 to 24 to have a safe space to express themselves and to play games, video games, all while being courteous about their health and their status. We give them the opportunity to have a confidential HIV and Hep C testing, and we compensate them with a $25 gift card. We also have a monthly barbecue at the Why Not Lot for the community, and we also have numerous resources there. In order to stay in touch with our community, we have a partnership with local bars where we host our Shot for Shot event, where if you any participant that gets a vaccination of a COVID-19 vaccination, they will receive a $25 gift card and a free shot from the bar of their choice, of course. That's a summary of some of the things that the outreach team has planned in our annual events. Hope to see you at one of our events. I would like to bring back to the stage Mr. Trey Moore Wilson.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Stacy, once again for passing that off to me and all the great events that you have announced that the team has been doing to team up with some of the great events that that our outreach department, our programmatic department has been doing. We have also initiated one in its finest, PCOM's membership program. PCOM's membership program is meant for a membership rewards club. It is where you, your friends, and your family can earn rewards for good health and well-being. Our membership rewards program is broken down into 4 tiers. Tier 1 is our bronze level. Tier 2 is our gold level. Tier 3 is our platinum level. With our final tier, Tier 4, is our black level. Through the Pride Center of Maryland's membership program, we don't only encourage great health, we encourage and allow for community members to stay retroactive and interactive with our staff. We provide individuals incentives and a sense of belonging in safe spaces where community members know that they always can go or they always have a place called home. The Pride Center of Maryland has launched its membership program on the true belief that, you know, reoccurring and retention is really important about providing the best services for this community that we're servicing. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Kenneth Morrison, who is the Director of Strategic Partnerships. Kenneth Morrison.
Hey everyone, I am excited to be here and be able to talk to you about Pride. As part of my role here is to make sure the community is engaged and involved and that we are connected and celebrating all the great things that is to celebrate about the Pride Center as well as about Baltimore in general. And I think that goes without saying, one of the biggest, most exciting events that we do here at the Pride Center is Baltimore Pride. I might be biased here, but I think it's the most exciting thing that we do here. So I want to jump into it. If we can quickly just go to the website really quickly. So everyone, if you go to our website, you'll be able to find the official Baltimore Pride Guide, where you'll learn about all the things that is currently Baltimore Pride. Just a heads up, if you look at this today, look at this at this moment while we're live, there's one more addition we'll make to the Pride Guide, which will include a list of all the vendors and the people marching in the parade. But we'll get to that later. So before we jump any further, I want to say that one thing that's really exciting about this year's Pride is the foundation of Baltimore Pride, which is the Pride Committee. And so we're excited to have Unique Robinson, who is the Baltimore Pride Chair. And she's doing a phenomenal job. And I'm excited to share that in addition to having Unique as our Pride Chair, we have about 40 members on our Pride Committee. So this is really exciting. It's one of the largest Pride committees we've ever had, one of the most inclusive, diverse committees we've ever put together to ensure that Baltimore Pride is more inclusive of the communities that sometimes didn't feel like they had a voice or a seat at the table. So we're working to ensure that there are more seats and more inclusivity as we move forward. So I want to get into the next part of it, which is our headliners. So we are excited. If you do not know, if you've not checked out our social media pages, our headliners will include Trina, Maya, DDM, George Levitt, Davon Fleming, Kiki Wyatt, Avery Wilson, and Elizabeth Vaughn Presley. Just to name some, there are also a few others. Rose from the RuPaul Drag Show will also be a special guest for our event, and then we'll also be doing a official feature at our after party at the Baltimore Eagle. But let's get into all the events. So we're excited to have these artists performing, but let's jump into the events. So we'll start off on Monday. There will be a Pride kickoff event. This will be invite only. So if you're saying, hey, I want to be at the kickoff, how do I get invited? Feel free to reach out to us, and we'll make sure you can join us for the Pride kickoff. But let's get to the public events. Let's start on Tuesday. So if you know anything about Baltimore Pride, if you don't know anything about Baltimore Pride, there are 3 things I want you to know about Baltimore Pride. One is that Baltimore Pride is the 3rd oldest pride in the world, okay? So it started with New York City, it went to San Francisco, and then it was Baltimore. So we have been doing and leading this work, not just locally, but nationally, building this presence and this movement nationally and internationally. So I'm excited that we are the 3rd oldest. But Pride is not just a party. Pride is not just a celebration. It is an opportunity to make sure that our community needs are met, that our community is seen, that we are heard, and that we are better than we were before. So it's not just a party. So I'm glad a lot of people love our parties, but also I want you to know that we do more than just parties. So on Tuesday, we'll have the Pride Job Fair. We have over a dozen corporations who are excited who have opportunities right now, is excited about working with the LGBTQ community and the St. Loving community and making sure people have employment. So please let people know our Pride Job Fair is definitely worth checking out. In addition, this year we're doing the Pride Film Festival, and this will be throughout the week. And for most of the days, it's absolutely 100% free. So you can absolutely come check us out and see free films during Pride Week at the Parkway. If you've never been to the Parkway, check it out. It's a phenomenal, amazing theater. So I'm excited to be partnering with them and offering free Pride films for the community. In addition, we have other great things like a game night. We have square dance with Pride. There's a lot of other we're all over the box. Okay, we're everywhere. We're everywhere with Pride. So that's just Tuesday. Let's skip over to Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday we have Family Pride Arts and Crafts workshops. This is for people of all ages, for families of all ages, from young all the way to up the spectrum, making sure that people have access to fun and engaging activities, including creating signs and face masks and things that you would like to do be part of Pride. So a lot of festivities. Building. So we're making sure that everybody has some fun activities to do. So it's arts and crafts. So please check it out if you're interested. The Baltimore Pride Slam. I'm excited. We have the #1 ranked woman poet in the world coming out of New Jersey, who will be here, and she will be hosting. Her name is Roddy. She'll be hosting the Baltimore Pride Slam. So I'm excited that we are able to have her and visit us in Baltimore. That's really, really exciting. Let's move over to Thursday. All right. So Thursday, we have some workshops, including the Back to Grassroots panels, the New Leaders panel. So these panels is not just, so again, this is not about just the parties, right? We want to make sure that people leave Pride better than when they came to Pride, right? So we have a lot of activities that includes the fun and the parties, but it's also about empowerment, and it's about helping people become better and wherever they are, however we can. So that's really exciting to have these panels. But also Youth Pride. It's not just for those of us who are of 30, 40, 50 years old. Youth Pride is going to be really, really exciting. We are partnering with the North Avenue Market, and we're throwing a party for middle and high school young people. So if you know some young people who want to come check it out, it's absolutely free for them. So please invite them so they can have an amazing time as well, and meet young people their age who can also celebrate with them during Pride Month. So on Friday, we have another event, part of Youth Pride, which is the Father and Son Ball. This is going to be a legendary event. I really, really want to be there myself. However, I won't be able to be there because, as you all know, Friday is part of the tradition of Pride, Baltimore Pride. We will have Twilight on the Terrace. And so Twilight on the Terrace is it's for 15 years. It's one of the most iconic events that we do for Baltimore Pride. So you don't want to miss it. If you have not gotten your tickets, it is not too late. However, we don't have many left, right? So you want to make sure you get your tickets now. And you can reach out to us and figure out how to get your tickets, or go to the website and get your ticket right off the website. So that's going to be really exciting to make sure that we have, Twilight on the Terrace, again, an iconic event. And so this is all just the week leading up to the weekend that we all know is Baltimore Pride, right? So you see, I skipped a lot of things. So there are about 24 events during Pride. But let's get to Saturday, where I'm expected to see 20,000 people, 25,000 people at this one space, one time, having a blast. So that will be Saturday. So make sure you are present for that. This will be on Charles and North Avenue, between North Avenue and 23rd Street. And so that's the block party. But leading up to the block party is our parade. So I'll talk about the parade in a second, but just know that the block party is happening on Saturday along with the parade. And then on Sunday, we're having Pride in the Park. This would include a lot of other events, including Elder Pride, which, is phenomenal. And I think it's, I said before that Twilight on the Terrace is one of the most iconic events, and that we have events like the job fair, which is really important. But I want to say that one of the most foundational events that we have in Pride is probably Elder Pride. It is an event and activities that I think centers us and reminds us of who we are and where we come from. Is really, really essential. So I'm excited about that. And it's going to be a phenomenal event. So that's just a little bit. Please check out the Pride Guide. Please go to the website. I kind of just, for sake of time, I kind of just jumped over the place and kind of gave you a few of the phenomenal events. Oh, one more event that I think is worth talking about. Sunday, for the first time ever, we're doing the Queen's Cruise. This is a Pride cruise, which will be a drag brunch cruise. It's the first time that we're doing it. So we see on here, you see that we have the maps up for Saturday and on Sunday so the park. You'll see how we're doing it on Sunday and how we're doing it on Saturday. I would just add that this is going to be one of the biggest prides that Baltimore has ever put on. We have almost 200 vendors. 200 vendors will be at Pride. Okay, so you'll be able to shop and learn and connect and get your build relationships with people you've never met before. It's going to be one of the biggest phenomenal events we've ever done. So make sure you're there at Pride. 200 vendors will be here at Baltimore Pride, and over 25 entertainers. It's going to be phenomenal. And so the parade, I do want to get to the parade. So we're going to have about 600 people marching in the parade this year, and we're really, really excited about that. And we're prepared for that. It's going to be the high heel race. I'm not promising that I'm going to run, but I heard it was $100 first place prize. So whoever win the high heel race. So bring your high heels and see if you can keep up with me. I'm excited about that. So that was just some of the highlights of what we're doing for Pride. I know you probably have questions, so I'm going to allow you to ask more questions about Pride. But I do want to say a thank you to a few of our sponsors. These are some of our larger sponsors, which includes RNDC, True Leaf, the Baltimore Eagle, Under Armour, and Vive. So thank you to our sponsors. Without the sponsors, we would not be able to do all the amazing things we expect to do this Pride. And with that being said, I look forward to your questions, and I'll pass it on back to Cleo.
Thank you, Kenneth. Boy, did you make that sound exciting. I look forward to seeing Pride for myself. And yes, it will be the biggest one ever, if not in a very long time. And not only is the Pride Festival the third oldest in the country, the Pride Center of Maryland is the largest and oldest center for same-gender loving, LGBTQ, trans, bi, gender, nuance, etc. populations in the area. So we have a lot of responsibility, and we are also the largest as well as the oldest, and we take that responsibility to heart. And as you can see, we're throughout the state because we're responsible to the state as the Pride Center of the state of Maryland. One thing I want to emphasize before going into the exciting things that are coming up is that just in case there's any question, the Pride Center of Maryland has to be and is an intentionally multicultural organization. Our staff is white, Black, Latino, Asian, even people with some Native roots. We have a relatively large trans staff. We have people who are men, women, etc., bisexual, tall, short, the whole gamut that you could think of. We are there because we need to make sure that our messengers represent a diverse community. So when people get there, they can see people that are like them to create resonance, support, safety, and understanding. So I want to put that out there. We also are bilingual, particularly Spanish speaking, in terms of our bilingual capacity as an organization. And because we're multicultural, we celebrate Hanukkah, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, we celebrate Juneteenth, we celebrate Malcolm X's birthday, we celebrate Chinese New Year, we celebrate Men's Health Month, Women's Health Month. We can go on and on with the people that we honor because it's our responsibility to open up the net and open up our arms to all kinds of people who are sexual and gender minorities in the world, and particularly in Baltimore, in the state of Maryland. So I want to make that clear so we can be clear about that. Also, I'm excited to announce that very soon we'll be moving into our own 7,000 square feet, 4-story state-of-the-art complex in the Charles Village area at 2418 St. Paul. That's the building. Check it out if you like. It's right there at 2418 St. Paul. And it's an honor, and we're quite proud and prepared to do this work in this space. At the new building, we will be having fitness. We have a fitness studio. We have a dance studio, which is connected to the fitness studios, where we'll be having self-defense classes to make sure that people in our communities are safe and can protect themselves, particularly trans women who have been faced with increased violence. We're making sure they can learn to defend themselves if anybody tries something through our self-defense classes. And that'll be open to all vulnerable populations who are willing to go, but is inspired by creating safety for trans populations. We are going to have a digital lounge where people can come in and eat food that they can buy and chill in the digital lounge, use our social networking system, computers, etc., and get online. Computer lab. We'll be expanding our preventive health and wellness clinic that Reese referred to, and that Naomi referred to as well earlier. We'll have a social media studio and a very large living room, community room for people to come and hang and chill on our top floor. And that area will also be prepared for large community meetings and whatever else we need it for. And we also have classrooms, and those classrooms will likely be where we do our GED program, some of our health education seminars, etc. So we just have a lot going on. We're quite excited about this complex and look forward to sharing it with you. I also would like to introduce, if I can, our Director of Communications. His picture is here somewhere. And let me see if we can get a picture of Jeff up on the screen. And my executive assistant, excuse me, something's in my throat. My executive assistant, Melissa Reed. Where are the pictures of them at so people can see them? They're somewhere in here. There they are. So those people help make this agency work, help keep us on track, help keep the world knowledgeable about our existence. And we're quite proud of these two people as part of our team, and a very important part of our team. So now we're going to prepare to get into questions and answers from the community and find out what you want to hear from us or learn from us. And we're here for you at this point. Okay, Mr. McLeod says, I'd like to know why the Pride Parade is held on Saturday in the middle of the afternoon, the hottest part of the day. This also means that Jewish groups who can't march on Saturday are effectively blocked from marching. I think Kenneth would be a good person to respond to that, but I can say that we are scheduled to be on a day that we typically, or a week or a time that we typically are not scheduled. AFRAM has come to town, and there are people who have more influence than us who decided to put AFRAM where the Pride event usually is. So the reason that we're at the date and time that we are right now is because we had to make some adjustments and move our day to another day because of the AFRAM event. Kenneth, you want to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will also add that when organizing this Pride, this is the 47th Pride, and there are some changes that could be made and that should be made, but we need input from community, right? So we need to make sure that people like yourself, that you join our committee, so you can help inform us on how things can be better moving forward. But the parade historically has always been during the time that it is today. Doesn't mean that it has to always be this way, but it is how it was in the past. So we're coming in and organizing Pride. We are not necessarily making major changes unless the community suggests that we do, and we see that it makes sense to make sure, like in this case, that we can include more people in Baltimore. So I think this is a good point to raise, and something I think that the committee should be wrestling with, so that way next year's Pride can be even more inclusive and we don't leave anyone out.
And I underscore what Kenneth said, and I think it's important to understand that we're doing what we can in the best way we can, and we're quite excited about what's coming. And indeed, we have Jewish people on our Pride committee and on our staff. Here, Ryan Isaac said that, hello, Ryan Aisley, I'm going to get that right. Hello, I'm currently seeing details of programs or events such as trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming programming on the website. Where might people find more details on PCOM's programs? Will there be a rollout of events, calendar, or list of programs? Absolutely. If you were on our website maybe a month or so ago, you would have saw a totally different website. Our new website is under construction. There are several different types of programs, including for youth, including for elders, including for veterans, including for same-gender love and bisexual women, including different people whose, while they come through our doors and they're served by us as we speak, the specific programs for those populations have yet to reach the site because it is under construction. What I advise you to do is check it out after Pride. What you might imagine is that putting on Pride is a huge event, and all that we do simultaneously to the work that we do on a daily basis that the whole team has already talked to you about, we also have to prepare for Pride and make sure it's a success. And we put all our energy into Pride at this point to make sure it is something that is successful. And the page could be better in terms of adding to what we do to the community's knowledge, and that is coming. And as Amber mentioned, there are lots of programs being rolled out for trans populations, and I will reiterate that trans populations are a major part of our service delivery clientele and always have been. Well, I think you missed it, Mr. Williams. We indeed did post something for St. Patrick's Day. We indeed did post something for the Trans Day of Awareness and Lesbian Visibility Day. So I guess that did not make it to your site, but we indeed absolutely did honor those days in our organization and in our social media. Okay, well, I'll reiterate this in case people want to see this or don't see this. It says, I saw an article saying that the Pride Center was given $7.4 million to open up a new center back in 2019. Why isn't it open? That was 2 years ago. First, Trey, thank you for directly asking questions so we can tell you what's true and what's false. That's 1,000,000% false. The Pride Center of Maryland was never offered any millions of dollars. As a matter of fact, as of June 2020, the PCOM had no income and was in debt and almost closed. So we're doing great, and we're quite operable, and we are in the black, if you will, with no debts at all at this point. But no, that's not true. We were never ever donated 7.5. We would love that to be true, but no, that's never occurred. That's a myth.
I don't think we have any more questions, Graham.
Okay. Well, what I'll say, again, inspired by the last question, is that if you check out PCOM's 990s through the IRS website, you will see indeed how much money we have raised, how much money we do have and don't have. And it's right there for the public to see. I see that you're bringing up some kind of article, but the article is kind of like Batman and Superman. They do not exist. People just write about them. And you can go to the 990 and see exactly what our income and finances are. No 7 million. That would be great. If somebody's willing to give us $7 million, we're open to it. Great question. The Black Men's Exchange is a partnership along with Total Healthcare, Star Trek, and several other organizations who work with PCOM based on their expertise at serving or attracting or retaining certain populations. So the Black Men's Exchange is definitely a partner that has been with PCOM since 2015, before I was in this role. As a matter of fact, when I first came into this involvement with PCOM, which was 6 or 7 years ago, the reason I was asked to come by this then executive director is because the organization was struggling with attracting Black people to the organization, particularly Black men. It had a contractual obligation to serve Black men, and because the Black Men's Exchange expertise, along with its being able to engage and serve and affirm and provide health and well-being guidance to Black men, just like the Black Women's Exchange is the same for Black women. We were able to work with PCOM back then, which was called GOCCB, to increase its capacity to serve Black men, and we've been in partnership with PCOM ever since.
Yeah, Cleo, just check the chat real quick.
Sure. Well, that's not a community issue, and I'm not going to get into that. That's a strange question. I don't know what that comment is a response to, or its relevance. I'm willing to find out if whoever wrote it can be more specific. Absolutely, Ms. McLaren. Absolutely. There's definitely room for spiritual development and faith-based providers. Absolutely. We invite you to come meet with us to find out what you or people that you have in mind may offer as a possibility to link with us in partnership with us. And I think that would be a great addition to what we provide. So yes, absolutely. I started as interim on June, I think it was the 20th, 2020. No, there's not currently a search for a permanent director, as the organization has a director who is the interim, but obviously doing the work that a director has to do. And when it's time for the interim to be released and someone else comes in, the community will be well informed.
I'm sorry, Trey, I added you because I didn't know if you wanted to speak. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I absolutely did. I saw some comments here. I believe Cleo adjusted about is there any room in programming for spiritual? Absolutely. For anyone who don't know me on this call, I will definitely definitely make clear my name is Trey Moore and I am the senior director of programming. So we definitely base ourselves on collaboration. And that is with every organization within a city, whether they are a LGBTQ, same gender loving organization, whether they're a youth organization, a spiritual organization. We definitely embed ourselves on partnerships, right? Because one thing I want to make clear, and I think I made clear in numerous conversations, that we can't do this alone. So I'm assuming everyone on this chat, everyone on this call is very very in tune about the community that we're a part of, right? So I think it takes all of us. It takes every single one of us on this call, right? So I see a lot of comments, about, but yeah, honestly, it really takes all of us. It takes all of us to come together and provide the services for this community. I see a great, a great deal of folks that I know
We're going to be ending soon, but before we end, remember, even though Trey Moore and I and Kenneth are doing a lot of the talking, there are other people here on our team. There's people like Karen, there's people like Reese, there's people like Naomi, there's people like Jeff, there's other people here who are multicultural and who are from different groups. If you have any concern about anything along those lines, they're here to answer questions, I should say. So you can take it all from me if you like, and ask people about their experience in this community and working for PCOM, etc. If the question is appropriate, of course. I'm the chief advisor for BMX. Well, as we prepare to wind down, I want to relate to the community, thanking you for coming in and being a part of the audience as we talk about our program. We're proud and excited about what we do, as Kenneth and others have said. Before it's over, I want to apologize to Karen for the very beginning of the program, me going right to Trey Moore and not remembering that she was before him, because I have a lot on my mind and I made that mistake, and I want to honor Karen, who I have a great respect for, and apologize for that publicly. But I also want to just reiterate our excitement, invite you to come to our temporary spot, which is at the Amasi Center at 2122 Maryland Avenue, because we have to have some place to operate in the meantime. So we're there, we're preparing to move into our building, and we're excited about it. We look forward to the men, women, youth, trans populations, Black, white, Asian, Latino, Native, biracial, whatever you are, we serve, and we have our doors open and our arms open to everyone. Our staff is quite diverse. We only showed you the leadership of our team today. We would take all day to put the whole staff on this platform, because we have a lot of people who work for us and work with us. But again, thank you for your questions. Thank you for your integrity, where integrity was present. And we appreciate you now having sat through our first committee meeting since the COVID-19 disaster has calmed down. Any more questions could be asked through email at info@PrideCenterMaryland or PRIDECENTRMD.org. Thank you and have a good evening.